Hi, I'm Chris, and this here is the Jivr Scooter Plus. It is an electric e-scooter that complies with EU laws, so it has a maximum speed of 25 kilometers per hour, a 350 watt front hub motor. It's running off a 36 volt system, and the battery pack is larger than usual that you normally find it in this class of e-scooter. The pack itself is 460 watt hours. It is removable, so you can simply just slot it out like so. You can charge it then at home, in the office, or you could charge it in the scooter if you want to do so. So the wheels on this are 10 inches, they're air-filled tires, and we do have a mechanical brake at the rear, which is in the mudguard, and it does have a mechanical disc brake there too, which is 120 millimeters. So the range of this particular scooter, they do claim that you should be able to get around 50 kilometers out of it. And of course, I will be putting that to the test. It has 3 different power level settings, different speed settings, cruise control, and the weight of the Scooter Plus is only 15 kilos, making it one of the more lighter models. The handlebar does fold down, making it very easy to put it, for example, in the boot of a car, or under a stairwell, or lift it up some stairs. So when you do fold it down, I'll just demonstrate that quickly. You just pull on this lever here, drop it down, handlebar clips into the rear mudguard, and you can easily then lift it up. The deck of the Scooter Plus is large enough that I can fit my feet on here without any problem, and it does have an option to buy some customizable wooden decks. Now they do come in various different colors. I've got 2 of them here, so these screw onto the top of the scooter, and it just allows you to customize it a little bit more than the standard rubber material that they use on the top of it. And it is a front wheel drive, so the motor is 350 watts. It does run off a 36 volt system. We don't have a mechanical front brake, but it is an electronic brake. You see, we do have a kickstand, and it's nice and sturdy. The scooter has not fallen over in the time I've been using it. Then our rear brake, this one is a mechanical disc brake, 120 millimeters. So in total we have 3 brakes when you factor in the electric brake at the front with the front motor, this mechanical disc brake, and then we have the friction brake at the rear here. So if you place your foot and your weight down on this, you can also use that as a third brake to help slow you down. Then for our lighting, for added safety, we've got a bi-directional tail light here. Now this one's red LED. It's relatively bright. It can be seen from all directions, and we do have these reflectors either side for added safety. The frame is made out of metal, and it's powder coated, this metallic paint job, which does look really nice. You can see that we do have internal routing with that rear brake cable. Then our hinge right here that does have a security. So there's this little plastic that keeps this latch in place to make sure it's not going to drop down. So folding the handlebars is very easy. You need to just slide that out of the way and then pull down on this latch, and the handlebars drop down. Then it latches into the top of the mudguard here, allowing you to then lift up the whole scooter. And in our top handlebars here, we do have a front LED headlight. So this is a powerful headlight that lights up the path ahead of you. Great for making sure you don't end up running over any potholes in the middle of the night as it lights up the path ahead. As you can see, it's nice and bright and clear. The scooter's grips are good. They're not lock grips, but they don't move about, which is good. A minor complaint here from me is that these handlebars are quite short. I wish the handlebar was a little bit longer. That would increase the stability of our ride and reduce the chance of getting any speed wobbles. Now to my ride test here. So let's have a look at what it's like to ride. So that kickstand, it's not failed me. It hasn't fallen over. It does hold it up quite upright. So you can see here with the deck that I do have plenty of room for my feet to fit on. And you simply kick off and start accelerating. Now we've got these different power modes. There's 3 of them. So that's the first one that only gets you up to around about 15 kilometers per hour. The second's about 20. And the top one is 25 kilometers per hour. It does have cruise control. So with the display here, we can see our speed, and there's 5 bars representing 20% of the battery life. So that's how you can gauge just where your battery is at. Now one thing with this scooter that I noticed straight away is these handlebars, they're rather short. I wish the handlebar length was actually quite a bit longer. It would aid to the stability, giving you less chance of possibly getting those speed wobbles that can happen sometimes with these scooters. So I have a bit of a climb here with some rough dirt. This is approximately 15 degrees, which it's handling okay. It's slowing down a little bit, as you can see, but not a problem. I will later get on to my steep climbing point and see just how it fares compared to other scooters. Right here I have a steady climb, and this is another approximate 15 or so degrees. It's not that steep and the scooter's handling it fine. Now you might be able to hear that beeping. That's the cruise control, which I now have engaged. So when you're holding down the accelerator, it will then engage that cruise control. And the way to deactivate it is simply tap the brake or tap the accelerator like now, and then the cruise control will come off. So it's not too bad, and it just means you don't have to hold down that accelerator the whole time. So very smooth, just cruising along here on a smooth surface is great, because while it doesn't have any suspension, it's just the air-filled tires which do soak up some smaller bumps and things. And it's really designed for this, just cruising along in cities on good roads, not rough roads or rough terrain. It's not the scooter for that, of course. Now, it's good at maintaining that legal 25 kilometers per hour. You can't really go over it, even downhill, to pick up a little bit of speed, but it really doesn't let your speed go out of control. I don't know if you just saw that, but it's 41 degrees Celsius here. So it's another good test to see how does it handle extreme temperatures. It's super hot and humid at the moment. So I've reached my climbing test point. I'm giving it a head start here. So this is 25, 30 degree gradient, and I don't expect it to be able to do this with a 350 watt motor. So I'm getting about a quarter of a way up here, but it is grinding to a halt, which all scooters do that are only 350 or 250 watts. So I'm going to have to kick now to help it up this very steep climb. So once I kick ahead, I get a bit of a boost, but it continues to slow down. Now this of course is very bad for your battery life. It will really burn through it on the steep climbs. So it's up to 15, 20 actually is their claim, 20 degree gradients. Anything over 20 degrees, it's going to slow down like now. Brake test now from about 30 kilometers per hour from here. Braking performance is average, and with the disc brake on the rear, you can actually lock up that rear wheel. Now I do have the option to use the manual brake too, which I'm going to do now, and I'll do that all three at the time, on time. Oh, you can see, yes, you can lock that rear brake up if you use especially all three brakes. So electronic brake at the front, disc brake, and then the manual foot brake. So I've made it to the end of the coast here, which is the route that I take with these scooter tests and e-bikes, and it's holding up well. It has not overheated in these sweltering temperatures, which is a good sign there, because other models, they sometimes throw an error code because they just get too hot, the motors, and they go into like a safety mode to stop it from doing any damage. But it hasn't happened here with the Scooter Plus. So let me talk about the positive things about the Scooter Plus here first. Definitely the range. This larger battery pack, a lot larger than most of the scooters in this class, lets me go up to around 35, maybe even 40 kilometers. Now their claim is 50 plus, so I'm not getting that claim, but that's probably due to the fact that I weigh 82 kilos. I'm not the lightest rider out there. By the way, the maximum rider weight is 100 kilos for this particular model. So good range. Now the other is the fact that you can of course fold the handlebar down quite quickly. It's quick and easy, as I showed you at the start, for stowage. That's great. And then the weight of it, it's only 15 kilos. So it is a good weight. Other scooters that I do test out tend to be a lot heavier. So you definitely got a good range. It's a smooth, comfortable ride on the flat. But let's get on to the cons. For me, the big con is the price of it. So this Jivr Scooter Plus is retailing on their website for 849 euros. So it is an expensive model. However, you are gaining about double the range thanks to this battery compared to other models, and it's using Panasonic cells too with this battery pack. The other are two minors for me, and that is the handlebar width. I really do wish that it was a little bit longer, these handlebars, to help improve with the stability of it so you don't get any speed wobbles. But once you ride this a lot, you do get used to it, and you shouldn't get any speed wobbles at all, not at 25 kilometers per hour, the maximum speed that this can do. The other is it's only 350 watts, so it's not a high-powered machine at all. It can handle climbs of 20 degrees. As I showed you with the steep climbing test that I did, anything over that, which was about 25, 30, you eventually do grind to a halt, and you need to then start kicking like a manual kick scooter, which is what I expect, of course, with this kind of power. So, all up, it's not a bad model at all. If you need that range, but you still want something that's light and portable, it's just the price there I hope that they can work on that and just bring it down a little, because compared to the competition, it is a rather expensive model here from Jivr. So thank you so much for watching my review here of the Scooter Plus.